Greetings, fellow Powhatan parents. Can you believe it's been several weeks since we've had a snow day? I'm kidding, of course. What I really wanted to say was, can you believe the school year's almost wrapped up? I know it's almost wrapped up because it's class project time. You know that old adage, it takes a village? That's true of raising a child, but it's also true of making a class project. This year, the first grade class project took a village, and that's why I'm here. I want to share with you the village that created this year's first grade class project. Hello, my name's Graham Knight. I'm one of the first grade class parents, along with Ashley, Robin, and Diane. And we're thrilled to share with you this year's class project. One of the things we wanted to do this year was memorialize the school year and capture it so that in 20, 30, 40 years, the proud owner of this year's class project could look back and remember the whole year. And I think we've done that, and I'm thrilled to share with you how. This year our class project was a class quilt. It took, of course, the 22 talented artists working and learning in Powhatan's first grade, but it also took the teachers and a number of other people to make it happen, and I want to share that story with you. One note you'll be interested to learn, this year's class project is 6 degrees separated from Steven Spielberg. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But first, let me let Ms. Sefton explain to you exactly how this year's class project memorializes the school year.
So the class project this year for first grade are 2 different quilts that are a journey of our learning through the year. So we've got everything organized by season and some of the more important things that we've studied. So as you look through in first grade in Mrs. Sefton's class, we started off the year in the end of summer learning about community and friends and how our community grows. And then we read a lot of fairy tales and performed some fairy tale plays that we wrote. We did a lot of talking about life cycles, apple, pumpkin, frog, chicken. We also, when we were talking about geography and community extended from our town to our state to our country. So in here we've got some of the symbols of our country and our state. We extended the geography unit, incorporating science too, and did an extensive study of space that included some student projects. At the end of fall, as we prepare for winter, we did a nice science study of animals in winter, migration, hibernation, and adaptation. This is the season of winter. As we came back to school, and certainly this year, this should have probably been most of the quilts since we had so many snow days. We started, when we returned from our winter break, we started our unit study of China. That went on for 5 weeks. Amazing study. In February, we looked at science and states of matter, different states of matter and the water cycle. And this is a concept that will be revisited in 2nd and 3rd grade as well. This is spring. Again, we have another symbol of our state, our dogwood and our cardinal in spring. It's springtime and we're just starting our study of Mexico. And what we haven't learned yet, but we'll wrap up the year with, is dinosaurs.
Thank you, Ms. Sefton. So that's how we memorialize the school year in the class quilts. I know you're wondering right now, how does this quilt have 6 degrees of separation from Steven Spielberg? I'll tell you about that in a second, but first let me tell you about the 2 marvelous women who put the quilt together, Janet Miller and Mary Campbell.
I'm very pleased with it, and I hope when you see it, you'll have a smile on your face also.
Well, I was an elementary school teacher, so this brought back many memories for me.
Janet Miller and Mary Campbell are members of a local quilting guild based in Middletown, Virginia. Their guild has about 60 members, and each year they put together some 250 quilts for various charities, including cancer patients at the Winchester Hospital. Think of it, 250 quilts a year, and this year they helped Powhatan. They donated their services, but they were so thrilled with the way the quilt turned out that they wanted to share it with their group. And they did that this past Thursday, April 4th. It was exciting to be there to watch them pull out the quilts and share it to a warm round of applause. These are devoted, hardworking women who are making a difference one stitch at a time. And in fact, Janet and Mary were so proud of their work that they wanted to put their name on it. And each quilt has a label with their name on it, memorializing the work that they did on this quilt. So a warm debt of gratitude goes out to Mary Campbell and Janet Miller for the hard work they put in and the donation they made to Powhatan School this year. Thank you, Mary, and thank you, Janet. There were 2 other artists involved in the class quilt this year. Louise Hall is a fabric artist living and working in Berryville, Virginia. Louise recently rearranged her life so she could devote more time to her fabric art, and she was invaluable in helping me understand how to capture the students' art on fabric and also how to capture the pictures on fabric and get the quilts to Janet and Mary so they could put them together. So deep debt of gratitude goes out to Louise Hall for her help with this project. And finally, our 6 degrees of separation is Edward Eith. Edward is a talented artist and sculptor working in Palisades, California. Edward happened to work on Hook with Steven Spielberg, and if you'd like, look at the credits on Hook. He's got a credit on that film. Edward helped put together the center panel, and if you get a chance, please go to his website, edwardeith.com. That's EDWARDEYTH.com. He's got a piece there called Enchanted, which is one of my favorites. And ever since I set foot on Powhatan campus, I've always wanted to see this sculpture life-size in our courtyard. But that story's for another day. For now, thank you, Edward, for all your efforts on the class quilt. So there you have it, the village that put together this year's class quilt. The 4 class parents who helped conceive the idea, the 3 teachers who helped focus it and marshal it along, the 22 talented artists who did the beautiful artwork in the quilt, and the consultants who helped make it, the 2 fine women, Janet Miller and Mary Campbell, who quilted it, Louise Hall, who helped us conceive it, and Edward Eith, who helped us make it. Thank you to all who helped make this class project possible. A couple other things you should know about this quilt. It's got designer Powhatan fabric on the back, and it also comes with its own carrying case. So to whoever ends up with this year's class project, I hope we've achieved our goal. I hope when you look back on it, you'll be able to look at this quilt and see in detail the year that was. Enjoy it. Everyone, I hope you have fun at the auction. Thank you.